It's Wednesday, June 21st, 23. This is the Economic Development Commission meeting. And attendance is Michael McMahon.
Serene Fuller.
Craig Samuelson.
Okay, so we have 3 people out of 5, so we have a quorum. We'll start with any changes in business developments in town.
I haven't noticed any.
I've been out of town in the last week and a half, 2 weeks. So, there was an article in one of the newspapers that the former Krabby Joe's will be Ford Baths, and that's supposed to be opening soon. They've already scheduled various bands and other entertainment on their website, so for sometime in July, so obviously it's going to be getting going. Anything else happening in town?
No, they have the fireworks.
Oh, yeah.
July 15th?
The Southwick Civic Fund.
Oh, okay, yes,
Doing the
that's right.
fireworks. They're looking for donations from people or businesses. And I think they're supposed to have a couple of food trucks or something, and selling some stuff.
I noticed Southwick Motors is no longer in business. That place is all cleaned out.
It was empty. It had a little, one of these commercial little signs you buy for $1 somewhere that said for rent. And that for rent sign came down at least 2 weeks ago. So I assume somebody's gonna move in there. It's all owned by Wally Properties. Anything else happening in town?
This isn't necessarily business, but I stopped in to see Buzzy the other day, and Martin said something about our website, and I didn't catch it all.
Well, let me tell you, I submitted the paperwork to the town accountant's office to get a purchase order. I came back, I checked our mailbox like 3 or 4 days later, and there was the purchase order for the Greater Westfield Chamber of Commerce, and for some signs from Spotlight Graphics, but nothing for Southwoods. So I went into the town accountant's office. There was a new person working at the front desk. She went into her computer, and then all of a sudden, the town accountant and the assistant accountant appeared. I didn't even see them coming, they appeared out of nowhere, and they handed me back my form. I said, what happened? Oh, well, since it's in your budget for FY 2024 for the website, we won't let you spend any FY 23 money. You can submit this form to us on July 1st, and it'll be FY 24 money. Huh? I didn't say it to them, but in my mind, you weren't gonna tell me anything? You were gonna wait for me to come and ask you about it? And of course, we're recorded, so I'm not gonna badmouth people, but I thought that was at least if you're doing something, give the form back to us with a note saying, you know, what's happening. Nothing.
So,
Because some of
practically
that money
speaking,
was from prior, not to interrupt you,
From
gas.
the current
the
fiscal
current
year,
fiscal year,
which ends this month.
Yeah,
So they decided, no, you can't spend the money because you've got a line item next year. And they said, well, you really need to have different line items. I said, for the last 15 or 18 years, there's been one line item for economic development. I said, we don't create that, that's created by your office. Yeah, go ahead.
I would push back on, because you had planned to use that money to launch the project in this year, and I would push back on that and ask Carl Steinhardt to weigh in on it quickly.
Yeah. I can try, but as I say, you know, they just do these things and don't tell you anything. Well, it's like telling you in advance what your budget is prior to the annual town meeting. That doesn't happen for any of the departments. Because I'm a library trustee, and the library never finds out until they get their hands on a copy of the budget. Yeah.
In your fiscal '23 budget, you didn't have specific line
Right.
items. You had a bucket of money
Right,
to use
It
at
just
your
said
discretion,
supplies.
to use at your discretion.
right.
Those are the words that you should use when you push back. This is your discretion in fiscal '23.
How much was it that we took out of 23 toward the?
It was it was $850 for the website, the $100 for the domain, and I put in, it was either 3 or 4 months of the maintenance, which he said, would be $80
Right,
a month.
so we're
Just
just
to use
losing
the-
that because
You end up losing it.
that's not right. So now we gotta take that money out of our 24.
Well, we have a separate line item for FY '24, beginning
Yeah.
July 1st.
But we always had that.
Well, we didn't have that extra money. So we're getting the regular budget that we had this year, we're getting that next year, plus a separate line item for a website, which is, I believe it's 1,500.
So the money that we have, we're not gonna be able to use.
Right.
And was your fiscal '24 the balance, because you intended to already issue some this year? You need to include that in your discussion.
I'll see if I can get hold of Carl tomorrow.
At least, right?
No.
But this happens to other departments too.
Well, maybe you should.
I know of another department that last year, FY '22, they quote, gave back $10,000 or $12,000 that they couldn't spend because part of it was for the electric bill, which they didn't need all the money, or part of it was for wages, and if employees don't work, if they're part-timers, there's no vacation time, they don't get paid for their time off, so they get paid for the hours they're in work. They gave back 10 or 12,000. So then, every year they have to beg for money, even though by the end of the fiscal year, the way the town processes things, they're contributing money back into free cash on June 30th. As I said, this has been going on for years.
But if we'd have known we were gonna lose that, we
Well,
would
yeah,
have asked for another $850 for 24, so I mean, we were planning on the money for the
Well,
website.
I know you are. That's why I picked up 15 sign inserts today from Spotlight Graphics. We're not gonna use all the signs immediately, but we can use them 6 months from now or 9 months from now when some of the signs deteriorate, because they do. If you leave them outside for 3 or 4 months, they begin to deteriorate. So I've got enough signs to cover most of our needs for next fiscal year, because we knew we had some money we could use.
Do you know how much money that is that we have until July 1st, or that we
We
have?
started out with 2,000, we spent $225 on the Greater Westfield Chamber of Commerce membership, and we spent $450 on signs at Spotlight. So the difference goes off into free cash, off into the ether. This town has a purchasing process that is from the 18th and 19th century.
If you wanna leave your phone number with me, I can give it to Carl tomorrow morning when I come in.
Oh, I can
Call you when
see
you can.
tomorrow morning. But it just,
Yeah, I mean, if they wanna increase 24 by whatever they're taking away from us this year for some silly reason, then okay, but that Southwest was planning on getting going.
I know, as soon as I found out the town accountant, I immediately went up and I talked to,
Martin?
Martin. I think he was going to a funeral or whatever, but I talked to him for a couple of minutes.
But again, that's not the town's discretion, it was our discretion, and
you know.
we used that discretion, we made a decision, so I don't.
Well,
know if they can-
what you have to do, and it's what I told the library a year ago when they were having some problems, you've gotta spend the money early in the year. Don't wait till May or June. You really have to spend it early, because otherwise they'll come up with over some spending freeze, which they happened a couple of years under COVID. All of a sudden, they said, oh, nobody can spend discretionary money because we don't know if tax revenue is gonna come in from personal property tax and from real estate tax, and we don't know what else is gonna happen, so everything is frozen.
Did we have to get approval for that website?
We did a couple
Right.
of months ago.
We got the approval, and so we initiated the contract with
Right.
Southwoods, and then they try to pull the money back.
Right.
That's not right.
Yeah.
They need to be called on.
Inga Hotel and 45 Klein Road.
I think this
Um, When you approach Carl Steinhardt tomorrow, Michael, why, if you're available, Craig, why don't you go with Michael?
Yeah, I am not, I wish I was.
I think a timeline as to when it was discussed with the EDC would be beneficial for Carl to understand this has been in process. The money is in your account, and you should be privy to spend it before year end.
We had talked about in this room with the FinCon and the Board of Selectmen,
Right,
and they were asking questions of how much will do this and what will do that, and
right,
and
so,
then they were talking about eventually the town was gonna, may change providers or software or
right,
whatever.
that's not until next.
No, but I'm just saying, all that conversation was going on at that one meeting.
But your request was for fiscal '24 funds to support, not to
FY
launch it. not to launch it.
'23 funds.
Right, so I have to concur with Diane, I would put your feet in the sand a little bit and just make a little bit of noise. Professionally and tactfully,
Right,
that this is money that was approved for fiscal year '23, and you've already started the process with Southwoods, let's not delay.
right.
Unless there's some misunderstanding too, I don't know. No,
Not with the town accountant. She didn't misunderstand. So any other changes with business developments or anything in town? Do we have any, oh, we do have some meeting minutes.
yeah,
Yeah, I just have to switch, I use the same draft for all of them, and it says
Yeah.
historical commission, so I just need to switch
Yeah.
that to EDC.
So let's take a quick look at the May 24th, 2023 minutes. Do we have any corrections or additions or anything?
I move we accept it as written.
I second it,
All those in favor? Michael McCann, yes.
Serena Fuller, yes.
Craig Samuelson, yes.
Okay, that was unanimous. Just as a quick comment on the Iron Man, I had a sign that we had made up 3 or 4 years ago that says, "Welcome to Southwick." It had like 8 or 10 bullets underneath it. One danger, you can't have that many bullets on a 24 by 36 inch sign unless you're very close to the sign reading. If people are driving by,
Can't see it.
they can't really see it. That's why it was a perfect sign to put down by the rail trail when people were on South Long Yard doing the bicycling, because they couldn't be stop sign, and the sign was right there. So it was a good use for that type of unusual event, but normally we learned you can only get about 5 or 6 lines of signs that size. We've talked in the past about things we might want to do for FY 2024. One was working with the Ag Commission, because they're gonna have their farm event in August. And, they're talking initially of having something at Wally Park, and then some of the farms in town would be open. After that event, they would have a table or a tent or something at Wally Park, and then at some of the farms. Inga, do you have any updates on that?
Yeah, actually, we've got Bert Hansen, the chair of the AgCom,
Oh, that's right.
on Zoom. I've got some show and tell as well. Oh, I didn't mean to rhyme, but I did. So I'm gonna let Bert take over, and then I can chime in and see how we all can work
Okay.
together.
Bert?
Okay. Hello, everyone. Bert Hansen, 153 Mort Vining Road. Yeah, things are moving along with the Open Farm Day. We actually decided not to have a base of operations, so to speak, at Wally Park, just because there wasn't really a good reason for it, and it would just take away time from people seeing the actual farms. We have 9 farms plus the Southwick Historical Museum participating, so we feel that's pretty good for our first time out here. And I think Inga's probably going to talk about, we're going to have a passport, quote unquote. People, whichever farm people start with, they'll get the passport, and then from farm to farm they get a sticker. At the end of the day, at whatever the last farm they visit, they leave the passport there, and then we're going to have prize drawings for anybody who deposits a passport. Inga has been looking into the cost of some paid advertising, and we're actually in the process of seeking sponsorships from local businesses to cover the cost of the advertising, which is actually going to be a fairly, for our budget, which is not big, it's a pretty sizable, chunk of money. So we'll run some ads about the event, and then whoever the sponsors are, we will mention them, in the ads as a thank you.
What do you plan on advertising? What publications or?
Oh,
You want me to answer that for you?
yeah, go ahead, Inga.
We're gonna be advertising in Southwoods. Our first ad is gonna run in July, then it's gonna run in August. We're doing quarter-page ads with free color. We're also gonna be running in the Penny Saver and the Westfield News. And I just left a message today, this is gonna be a surprise for you, Bert, for the magazine that's out of Granby, the Go Better
Oh, okay.
magazine. And I want to see what her prices are, because I ended up getting the prices for the Republican down a bit significantly. So, and that happened today because the girl's back from vacation. So I'll send out a message to you to pass on to the rest of the folks, but we're going to have a little bit of extra money there to play with. But right now,
Okay.
it's confirmed for Southwoods and Penny Saver and the Westfield News.
What's the total
Yeah.
cost?
Excellent.
Roughly ballpark.
Total cost without the savings that I brought in today, it's going to be about $1,000.
Well, you know what? I mean, if we don't get our money back from them, we ought to just spend it on that.
Hey, I love that idea.
Well, I'm serious.
That's
I mean,
fair.
Yeah, that's totally
So
fair.
what's the name of the publication in Granby, you said?
Oh, gosh, I wanna say it's Go Local.
I know that they have a newspaper
Yankee
that's
Trader.
No, it's not
mostly
Yankee Trader.
online.
It comes out quarterly.
Big-
It is a colored paper. It's all about Connecticut, and they do tap into a bit of, Southwick and other communities.
Yeah.
It-
You can get Go Local at the library. I didn't realize it was from Granby, actually.
Yeah, it comes out of Connecticut.
I think it's in the treasurer's lobby as well,
Yeah, they
when it comes out.
They put them around town, definitely.
Granby also has a little newspaper that you can put stuff in free called the Granby Drummer.
Okay?
And you said the Republican too?
Well,
Or
the
no?
Republican owns Penny Saver and the Westfield
Yeah, that's true,
News.
that's true, because I used to work for them.
Yeah, and we don't have, I don't have the kind of scope of money to go into
Yeah.
that, unless the EDC wants to contribute the money that town's not gonna let you spend on launching the website.
I mean, I would be
But
tempted if they're gonna play
first.
games like
Yeah.
that, what do we have to lose? I mean,
Well, you just, we're coming up to the end of the month.
well, I know, but we could, so, we could certainly have a motion subject to you being successful tomorrow or not.
Also, when you mentioned the Westfield News and the Penny Saver, about 6 or 8 weeks ago, the Penny Saver put out a little publication, and all of a sudden, you know, I opened up the newspaper one day, and there was this little thing on Southwick, which I had no idea, and it had emergency phone numbers and the phone number for the senior center, et cetera. And then
Yeah.
the Westfield News also put out another glossy, like little magazine.
Oh, it's an
thing.
industry thing, business
Right.
and industry, yeah, I
It used
saw
to
that.
be 50 or 60
Yeah,
pages
yeah.
10 or 15 years ago. This one was down to 18 pages,
Mhm.
but there was a little ad put in there by the select board.
I think I saw that
I-
too.
Yeah, I have no idea how much they were charging or whatever for it, but that showed up 2 or 3 weeks ago as an insert in the Westfield News one day.
Well, what we're hoping to do, Bert, do you want me to ask the question about the restaurants?
Sure, yeah.
So I'm looking at getting sponsors to help support our advertising cost, and I'm sticking with commercial businesses. And at first we were thinking about going to the local restaurants and seeing if they would want to contribute gift certificates to go into the drawing. Too much work, too labor intensive, and we decided last meeting to go with sponsors to cover the ads and go with a few select businesses to give us the prizes for our drawings. So what I wanted to present tonight along with Bert is, I know you have this flyer made up already of the restaurants. I'm hoping that we get people from the outside communities coming in. I know I've been talking up at my office, and I know a handful of people that are wanting to come to Southwick for that day. It's only 12 to 4 on Sunday, August 20th. And my thought was, with the Economic Development Commission, since you create this flyer, is it'd be awesome if you folks could contact these restaurants and see if they would be willing on that day only to be able to, and you have the flyer already created, so you're not recreating the wheel. You could just highlight the ones that are participating that Sunday and have them all do like a blanket percentage off. Whether it's 10% off their total cost, 20% off with this brochure that day. So it'd be something that we could work in tandem with you all to know people are coming in. They're probably gonna want something to eat if they want. Maybe not, but it's a way to maybe drive just a little bit of revenue. But it would mean a little bit of legwork on your all part to contact those restaurants, only the ones open on Sundays, to see if they want to participate.
So you're saying you would have to bring that brochure in from,
Yeah.
is it the passport?
We would have these at all our local farms, which right now we've got 10 people participating. So what's gonna happen is Inga drives to the first farm I wanna go to is Sol's. So when I go to that farm, there's gonna be a table there with a couple of volunteers from AdCom, other commissions, and they're going to receive this. There's gonna be a list of all the farms on the front cover, so when they go to the farms, they're gonna get these cute little farm stickers. We already have the farm stickers.
Yeah.
Then, when you open it up, you get the whole little trail of where the farms are and who's participating, with a little write-up on the other page of what the farms are gonna be doing. For instance, Blossoming Acres, she's going to be doing hay rides and field observation, so they can see what the how they do whatever they do. Solex, it's gonna be pet the cows and look at vintage tractors, and we're gonna have 413 honey involved as well, which is Andrew Solex. So there's gonna be a description as to what's happening at all those farms. Then on the back is gonna be hopefully all of these sponsors that are willing to give us between $50 and $200 to help pay for the cost of ads. So real simple, and at the end of that day, when they visit the farms, we're gonna capture their name and their email address. Fold this up, pop it in a box that we already have, and drive away and hopefully be a winner of one of like 8 gifts that we're gonna be for the drawing. So with this, we could also have this with it. I could fold it up and put it right inside. It's the perfect fit. So that there's also, hey, while you're here in town, visit the Fresh Deli at the Notch and get 10% off your full order, whatever it's going to be. But I would recommend if you all decide to do this, you have to vote on it tonight so that we could, you all would have time to contact the eateries, get their approval, highlight them, come up with a percentage so that we can add that right into our presentation to the people visiting the farms. It's a way to draw some additional revenue in town, and it's going to be a fun day. The sun's going to be shining, it's not going to be warm, and everything's going to be
Absolutely. And let me chime in on that note that the farmers are very enthusiastic and even excited about this, and also folks that I've talked to, and I think Inga as well, about sponsorships or contributing prizes. Everybody loves this idea, so we're really looking forward to it.
This is 12 to 4, you said?
12 to 4.
And you're gonna do 10 farms and,
They're not going to be able to hit all 10. That's where, that was the hours that was agreed upon. Hence why we also eliminated Wally as the point of registration. Let's just get the people right out to the farms and have the literature that they need to proceed with whatever farm trail they decide to go on.
so then the stickers that go on these things, what's the significance of the number of stickers on that?
It's just something fun and engaging.
Oh, okay.
So that when they go to Solax Farm, they're gonna get a sticker.
Yeah.
When they go to Blossoming Acres, they'll get a sticker. At first, we were thinking about, depending on how many stickers, would give you a different level of a reward
That's what I
for,
thought you were.
but
Okay.
we're not overthinking it this
Okay.
year.
All right.
Maybe next year we'll overthink it, but this year we're keeping it a little bit more simplistic.
That's similar to the concept of what the Greater Westfield Chamber of Commerce did 3 or 4 years ago for Small Business Saturday. A lot of the, quote, wine trail in Connecticut has the stickers and they quote passport.
Yeah.
Yep, it's
It's
just
like
a little
garden
engaging,
tours.
something
Right.
fun. And right now, we're in print with a trifold flyer. It's not
Oh, you showed us that. I
identical
think.
to
Yeah.
this, but it's gonna be similar to this concept, and we're going to, those are in print right now, right, Bert?
Yes, that's right. Yep.
And those are gonna be being distributed to the farms previously, so that they can start picking these up, so they can see what's gonna be happening on August 20th. We've also come up with a template where the farms are gonna be filling this information out, because we're gonna have poster boards at the farms, giving history and what their crops are, et cetera, et cetera. So that's gonna be at the farms equally, but prior to that, between the advertising, word of mouth, and these flyers, plus we're getting signage too, similar to like the campaign signs that you see around during that season, letting people know it's coming.
Now, when's the farm parade? You're still having that too?
That's in October,
Okay, that's October.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, it was October 22nd last year. I don't have confirmation yet on when that's going to be this year. So just waiting to hear.
Just going to the town site as well, outside of the bank.
They'll go on whatever site we can put it on, Craig.
But I mean, will it be on the town sign, the digital sign?
On the digital
Same
sign? Craig's
Um,
asked, Bert, if it's gonna be on the town crier at Gristmill Plaza?
Yes, that's the plan, and also on Channel 15. Yes,
So we'll utilize as many public forums as possible, hence where also the advertising is gonna do more of that outreach.
right. Right.
So.
And then just one other logistical note, and get a follow up on, the passport and all that. To help the farmers out, we're going to have volunteers at each farm to, direct people to parking or to put the stickers on the passports, that kind of logistical help. We actually have, so far, we have 6 National Honor Society kids who are going to be volunteering to help with that. That's, I love that.
And obviously, we're all gonna be out there too. I'm taking over
Yeah.
clients in stables, to serve my neighbors.
Okay, yeah.
We're doing, of course, pony rides and that kind of fun stuff. So my question to you all is, do you want to participate? If so, it's gonna be a little bit of legwork on your part to contact the restaurants to see if they'd wanna participate. But tonight, it'd be good to be able to have a vote as to what you would want to agree upon for a percentage off for these restaurants. And then,
We'd be coming up with the
Yeah,
percentage
that's
for the
what I was
restaurant.
wondering.
pardon?
We'd be coming up with the percentage for the restaurant. would.
No, you would have to determine if you wanted to participate with an
Right.
open farm day. When you contact the restaurants, what do you think would be a fair percentage for them to contribute off of the bill for that day?
Mhm.
Well, I don't know.
Because it'd be like an enticement. giving
Oh,
them
yeah, I mean,
a little
we could
enticement to go.
suggest 10 or 15%, but then it's ultimately up to the business.
The only problem with that, yeah, and I understand, is that would have to then be clearly stated on this, highlighted, that the Crepe House agreed to do 20%, Village Pizza agreed to do 10%.
That becomes kind of a
Yeah, that-
logistical nightmare.
How many?
That way,
That's,
if we could get everybody to agree to,
Yeah, because I don't know if we could come up with that percentage.
in the perfect world, it'd be great if everybody was,
They would want to.
I'll take 10% off, but
So they
you
don't
can't
color code
I don't know
force
if
it
we
down
could do
your
that.
throat.
and print
Mm.
You know,
it. If it's
you're the business owner,
10, 15.
Yeah.
and we're suggesting 15%, you're saying, more like 10.
Mm.
Yeah, that's the tough part.
I mean,
well,
You,
Go ahead.
you could have varying percentages by whatever restaurant, and then they can be color coded. If it's 10, 15, 20, 20 would be generous. If it's 10, 5, 10, 15, they can be color coded on the front of this and printed in color.
If we could get the select board copier downstairs, it will print in color. The rest of the copiers in this building are black and white.
Possible,
That should be fine.
can you?
Well,
It's wide
I'm-
lens.
I'm guessing we could get the select board one.
Yeah, that would be great, as long as we've got a select board member who says, yeah, you can use it. Because otherwise,
Well, how do you get to use that copier normally?
Usually when I go down there and ask to print something, they always say yes. Because I printed stuff for the cultural council.
Okay.
so you just
There
have to
you go.
ask.
Yeah, you just have to ask.
Just have to ask.
I know if you
So-
ask when you're paying a bill, they charge you like 10 cents.
So I think, so Michael, you create that, update that,
oh, yeah,
so you could just highlight 3
Right.
different colors,
Right.
put code on the,
yeah, see, I normally copy everything in the next room over, which is in black and white.
yeah. So it would just say this day only.
Right.
Actually, it's gonna be that day only,
Yeah.
Right,
right,
Just
so
that day.
that day only,
Right.
so a date on it says this
Sure.
day only. Participating restaurants, 5, 10, 15, whatever they are, color
Right.
coded.
so who markets that? It's just gonna be to whoever comes to the farms.
Whoever comes to the farms, in this flyer, it'll be that. Nice and cozy.
Mhm.
And it can be mentioned in an ad, that there's an
It will be.
added bonus.
Sure.
Yeah. There will be,
Yep.
obviously, it'll be put in the advertisements as well, just as our sponsors are gonna be put in the advertisements as well.
Okay,
So, but we're on crunch time
Right.
because this is coming out in August. And I need to have ads going to the publications by the end of this month.
so do I hear a motion that we want to participate, and our participation would be the rest, the eating and drinking establishments piece, as well as I'll contact the eating and drinking establishments. Do I hear a motion to vote on that so we can get this in process?
I'll make a motion.
I'll second that, and then as far as discussion, can we get some of your help maybe as far as going to some of these restaurants? I don't know how,
We'd have to call them all?
I can contact the restaurant.
You can?
Yeah,
so,
Okay?
I've got time right now.
Okay.
I just came from 10 days in the Midwest, so that's over with.
so would you like to amend the motions so as to indicate either a 10 or 15 or 20% discount, which will be reflected in that?
Sure,
Okay.
Mhm.
Are you good with
Yes, I'm good with that, yeah.
okay. All those in favor?
That's good.
Yes?
Yes.
Aye.
Okay.
Oh, thank you all. We appreciate that.
Okay.
So can we get back to this advertising thing so we don't lose track of that? Michael, I'm just trying to understand how much we have left in the budget this year after the 225 and the signage and so forth. We have $1,200 or,
It'd be
Yeah.
1375 if that's all you spend,
okay.
those two items.
I mean, obviously you're gonna go in there tomorrow. I mean, is there any way that we could have a motion that any unused funds this year, we could give to the ag, or the,
Oh, transfer the money over to the Ag Commission?
No, buy
No,
the
just-
ads for a joint effort.
right,
Oh, okay.
right. Any unused funds, I mean, would we have,
Bert.
Yeah.
How about if we took our excess money, transferred it to your account tomorrow?
well, you're gonna go in tomorrow and find
What
out.
you-
where it
yeah.
is.
Fight for it tomorrow
Right.
night.
If we can't get the website stuff straightened out, transfer the money over to you. Can you find a way of spending it before the end of the month?
Wow. Yes, I think so. I personally I'm sure this has been done before, transferring from one commission to another, although I don't know for sure.
In the past, when they needed to buy a new copier in the other room, downstairs said, we're not paying for it, come up with your own money. So it was the Conservation Commission, the Planning Board, they got a
Okay.
couple of bucks out of the Cultural Council, they got a couple of $100 out of EDC. That's how they were able to buy the copier.
But can't you contract with these, different advertisers, I mean, even though prior to the end of the month?
Yeah, Southwoods alone, that's $400. So between Southwoods and, purchasing the signs, we could even use that for the signs. I mean, we could do that. It
So
could
money needs to
happen
be
to where
spent, right?
Oh,
And money needs
that
to be
money could be
spent.
spent.
Right,
Yeah.
okay, so I'll check with Carl, if we can't do the website thing, then I'll email Bert with our account numbers and whatever else the town accountant needs to transfer that money over there.
so I will
Okay.
move on that, subject you going into Carl, any unused portion of our account, we will participate with them
Right,
in their marketing.
right,
So if that's a go, they get mentioned in the ads as
We
well.
get mentioned, yeah,
Economic development gets
Right.
mentioned in the ads as well.
there's more than one way to skin a rabbit.
it'd be great if you could use it though for the
Well,
website.
yeah,
Yeah, we will try, but I'm just saying,
Yeah.
at the end of the day,
Yeah, I'll second that. Did you make a motion?
I did,
Yeah.
yes.
Okay. Anything else we need to, discuss? In terms of FY 2024?
I can.
Okay.
Bert, do you need to stay for the rest of the meeting then?
Uh, no, I'm good. I so appreciate this really great, helping hand you guys are giving us. But not, just a sort of a technical point. Did you guys actually vote just now on that
Yes, we
transfer
did.
question?
Right.
Okay,
You sort of voted, yeah. You voted, okay.
okay.
Um,
Just want to be sure we're legit here.
Right,
So,
and Michael said he was gonna contact the restaurants and look about either
Right.
percentages either being 10, 15, or 20.
Yep.
And once that's done, then the flyers can be color coded for their eateries and everything will be
Yes,
static.
yes. Awesome. Yep. Very good. Thank you again. Yep. I might just hang in to see what else you guys have on FY 24.
I don't think we
Okay.
can dig up any more money, but we'll see.
Well, I didn't want to jump the gun here, but we weren't planning on anything else, were we? I mean, we're,
No,
okay,
no,
all right.
not the next
Um,
week.
So any plans for other things we want to do in FY 2024? Do we want to go back later in next fiscal year? Do we want to try to do another home and business show like we used to pre-COVID, or?
I don't
Hold on
know if
on
we
that.
should. I think we have some other things going on that,
Yeah.
you know,
Okay.
that we need to start developing, you know, whether it be this flower box or this, you know, these competitions
Right.
or whatever. I think that we,
Which then brings up another issue. Do we want to meet next month? Because I had put on the agenda, next meeting TBD.
Mhm.
I'm probably gonna be gone next month, so.
I'd like to pass if we could.
Okay. Do we want to meet in August or wait until September?
I think September, what do you think?
I'm good with that. I mean, let's get
Okay.
past this. Otherwise, I think we're gonna be fragmented here, and I hate for the other two to miss out on.
Right.
Inga has a question.
Inga Hotel, 45 Klein Road. The only concern that I could see by postponing another month is what the status would be for the restaurants, the percentages, and also having the flyers completed.
Oh, I can contact the restaurants and, adjust the flyer, special flyer for this one day, and then get it copied downstairs.
Okay, so do you want to come up with a point of contact with either Bert or myself then, Michael?
Oh, I can send an email to Bert.
Okay,
That's not a problem.
perfect. And, yeah. That should be fine.
And then
Yeah.
we'll probably see you guys on August 20th.
Should we come up with a date though for when that could be, like, come up with a target date for deadline?
Oh, of when you'll have the brochures and all?
Just the loop being completed, from the restaurants to the flyers being done.
When do you need it?
I'd like to have them sooner than later so that we can be able to start collating them
Mhm.
together. So why don't we look at July 13th?
Okay,
Okay,
Does that sound good to you?
sure.
sounds good to me.
I assume July 13th isn't a Saturday or Sunday? I don't know.
I don't know, I just like the number 13. That's why I came up with it, because it's a good number for me.
Do you want to know?
July
Yeah, what
13th
is
is a Thursday.
A Thursday, perfect.
Beautiful, okay. Okay, anything else?
Diane has a question.
Yeah,
Just on your summer schedule, should you issue a PO for Southwoods July 1st, are you going to need to be together to review any progress on that?
well, let's approve it now. If things don't work out tomorrow, do we issue our first PO for FY '24.
For Southwoods,
And then
right,
work in
yeah.
progress, do
Right.
we need to review anything with you?
No. I think we've been ready to go.
They have carte blanche to just rock and roll, Southwood,
For the,
developing that website.
So we would issue another PO,
they're gonna have
but doesn't the one we have stand, I mean, regardless
No,
of.
I don't
they're a
think so.
different color,
Okay.
and a different fiscal year at
Okay.
the top.
there's gotta be a
This-
process
this
for the
town-
website.
Has a
You know how it
method
goes
to-
with the budget, you know how it works,
Yeah.
the PO and
from
all
the
that, I don't know how
18th
that
or
goes.
19th century.
So I guess I'll move that we,
That's what I'm asking. When?
unless you have success
Right.
tomorrow, that we issue another PO.
Do you know what I'm
Right,
I do.
okay, let's vote on it, yes,
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 okay, that was unanimous.
To make a PO for
Southwoods,
Southwoods.
yeah, in the event that they don't approve our current fiscal year funds.
Okay. Do we have anything else, or,
Yeah, something I just said. Lazy gold.
I'm not sure you understood the total question. So Southwood's gonna get rolling on this project. They're going to have work in process. Are they going to need you to review
oh,
and guide them?
I can work with Martin.
Okay.
you mean as far as like billing hours and that kind of thing?
No, what it looks like,
What it looks like,
what
yeah,
it contains, what is its,
Yeah, it just in the summer, with people on vacation, they're not available. That kind of thing. So,
it just may stall a project if no one can come in to approve work in
Yeah,
process.
I can take care of it, so I'll have the basic one, same as Martin did back in February or March. He looked at the existing one and tweak and move on from there.
At a minimum, I think you would have to vote to have Michael be that lead person, give those approvals.
Okay, do I hear a motion?
I'll make the motion
For what?
to have Michael make the decision on that, on the approval
Right,
of the website.
so we can get the website
Yes.
up and running, and we can always,
We don't
You can always
tweak
tweak it, yeah.
for future months. Okay,
You second that?
Michael, yes,
Yes,
Serena, yes.
that was unanimous, okay. Anything else we need to discuss tonight? Otherwise, it's have a good summer and see people on, August 20th.
I mean,
We have public
you
comment?
could easily email us
Oh, yeah,
maybe something that,
Right.
when Mark
Right,
comes up with it, just so we're
right.
kind of all in the loop or whatever. but I
Oh,
mean,
public comments?
Yeah, did we have those?
I guess not, are they supposed to be in there?
okay, go ahead.
If you're done with regular business, I just wanted to comment that 686 College Highway is off the market.
Oh, what happened?
It was purchased by a Southwick resident.
Which one's 686?
Carvana,
Oh, the Carvana thing? Oh, okay.
was it John?
John
Wally?
Wally?
It will be farmed.
Is he paying the 3.6 or
I
is,
have
I
no
assume
idea.
some lower number?
I have no idea.
So that's a
it-
good
But
thing?
it will not be industrial development on
it'll
the
be the thing.
So it's 91 acres. How about the property on North Long Yard? Did that go through?
That I think is still on the market.
Well, remember was some nonprofit was buying it on
Oh,
behalf
that's
of the
not,
National
oh, that
Park
piece,
Service?
oh, that piece along the trail?
Right,
I haven't heard any updates on that.
okay.
Yeah, me either.
That's been
Haven't heard
filed.
anything.
That was
Which
supposed
one?
to be- They were hoping for April.
Over by, off of North Lawn Yard?
Yeah,
It
on the
goes
right
along
hand
the
side.
on
Goes
the
off
trail.
Oh, all right.
200
I think
Oh,
it's
yeah.
56 North Long Yard. I hope I have that right.
I haven't heard any updates on that. They thought it was gonna be April, they were trying to fast track it to April, but I guess that's a question for conservation to follow.
The key thing is they've got to do it this fiscal year, which ends September 30th, if they're using any federal money.
True.
So would you mind sharing the names of the farms real quick?
Oh, boy.
They're participating, yeah.
Do you have it in front of you, Inga? I don't want to leave anybody out.
Yeah, I've got a couple of different.
I think I,
So, okay, so we've got Arnold Farm, and that's gonna be for our sunflower stand and also the tobacco farm. Donna Flynn Farm, the historical barn, Kleinview Stables, Blossoming Acres, Calabrese, Cowards, Firefly Field, Solak Farms, that's the ones I have, that's 9, right?
Okay.
And then, just that, the newest one, Roger BC, BISI on North Long Yard.
Oh, yes, Roger BC.
BC?
I think, yeah,
That's gonna be a self-guided tour, correct?
yes, right.
Okay.
Which Arnold Farm? Is that sheep pasture or?
That's on sheep pasture.
Okay, Dwight?
Yes. Yeah,
Yep.
so she grows sunflowers and then there's also the tobacco,
Yeah.
so.
Right.
It's a great start for the first year.
It is.
Yeah. And it looks so cute, so,
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay,
okay,
thank you.
Anything
I'll
else?
drop those off.
Otherwise, we'll adjourn.
night bird.
Yeah, yeah.
Do I hear a vote?
All right, thank you all.
I-
Have a great summer. See you on the 20th.
Okay. All those in favor, yes.
Aye.
Yes,
Yes.
yes. So just save you some time, I'll just say 20%.